Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well. We got two important topics here. One is hard to believe, but the other one is real. First, Putin names countries that could mediate the peace conference. So Russia is open to negotiations and names countries. Putin names mediators. Now, this occurs at the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok, in eastern part of Russia, where Russia hosts this summit. Right, that's the first one. And the other one, can you believe? Putin endorses Kamala Harris. He says that he is, let me read you Putin backs Kamala Harris. And the reason why, I will give you in a moment. I have a video with Putin stating that, making it on camera, the disclosure. So let's start with the first article, which comes from New Voice of Ukraine. Putin, open to peace talks, names mediators. Moscow has not abandoned peace talks with Kiev, but only on the basis of the Istanbul agreements from March 2022. Claimed Russian dictator Vladimir Putin, he was elected. Zelensky just bypassed his election. Speaking at a panel discussion at the Eastern Economic Forum in the city of Vladivostok on September 5. Peace talks have never been abandoned, but they are possible, and I'm quoting, not on the basis of some ephemeral demands, or ephemere. That's in Romanian, but ephemeral demands, but only on the basis of the documents agreed upon and actually initiated in Istanbul, he said. Well, I would like to tell Putin something, and I guarantee you he knows this. A piece of paper signed by a country, even if that goes to the United Nations, which becomes international law, means nothing. Evidence to support that claim, it was Minsk agreements. Second, the protocols in 2015, signed by Russia, Ukraine, with the guarantors, France and Germany. These guys were the guarantors that Ukraine will follow through with the Minsk agreements too, which was a lie. None of them, like Poroshenko, the former, then was the president of Ukraine, did not even think about implementing it. I was about to say Meghan Markle, whatever Markle, what's her first name? Angela Merkel, then the chancellor of Germany, said we had no intentions, we just bought time for the Ukrainians to arm themselves and restart whatever started in Donbass. And Hollande, then the president of France, said the same thing when he was pranked by those guys, I don't know, Lexus and Mercedes, whatever the names are. You know what I'm talking about. So, even if Putin says, oh, we want the documents and all that, that means squat. I'm going to give you another example. Remember the agreements with Iran signed by the European Union with the United States of America? Remember? And then when Donald Trump, the new president of the United States of America, came in the office, he said, yeah, give me the document. So all the agreements United States of America agreed to and signed was not where it became nothing. They just got out unilaterally from the agreements. So what's the point? I tell you what is the only deterrent towards these kind of things: strength. You got the military, you got power, you got the mass media, you got your spies, you got economic power, you got resources, you're good to go. You're good to, you belong to a club, you're good to go. You're insulated from the other guys reaping, treaties and all that. Here, asked about possible mediators in these talks, Putin mentioned, of course, China, Brazil, and India as countries that he believes are genuinely, and I'm quoting, trying to understand all the details of this complex process, end quote. And I'm quoting again. We respect our friends and partners who, in my opinion, are sincerely interested in resolving all issues related to the conflict. These are, first of all, the People's Republic of China, Brazil, and India. He says, these are first of all. So he mentioned 3 out of more than 3. I am in constant contact with our colleagues on these issues, he said, avoiding the word war. If there is a desire on the part of Ukraine to continue negotiations, I can do that. All right, well, this is what I said, but hey, he lies. The Kremlin put forward various ultimatums to Kiev, in particular regarding demilitarization and denazification, which Putin initially declared to be the goal of Russia's war against Ukraine. Well, I thought they were unprovoked. Yes, those were, and if he had to go to war and sacrifice his nation for all that, that means, what do you think, I'm going to just drop it? Like that joke that my English friend, this starts with the letter J, used to tell me in a long time ago, more than 25 years ago. He said, well, he's English, he didn't like he was making jokes on everybody else, including the Romanians, hairy and sweaty. That's what he said I was, which I am. Hairy, I'm sweaty, so let's go. So he was making a joke about the Irish who tried to cross the English Channel, swim across, and he said that he swam halfway and then he got tired and he swam back. So the same here. Do you think Putin is going to do the same thing? He's going to go halfway, have hundreds of thousands of the Russians killed and so on, and then he's going to turn around and say, okay, now let's discuss as we did, my glasses, in 2021, as I tried to. No, he's not going to do that. He's going to say, that bird flew, that train left the station a long time ago. Let me get my glasses. Ram pam pam. Here they are. All right, so let's go to the next article, which we find out that Putin backs Kamala Harris with a video right here. Ram pam pam. Here it is. Russia Today, the 5th of September 2024. Putin backs Kamala Harris video. The Russian president told the conference in Vladivostok that he respected Joe Biden's choice as successor. Moscow will support U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris in the upcoming presidential election in November. Isn't this interference? Let's say Putin would have said Trump, he supports Trump. Isn't that a direct foreign interference in democratic elections and free elections and fair elections in the United States of America? Of course there is. But hey, that's a little trick here. Russian president, his president here, his dictator on the other one, said on Thursday while speaking at the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok. Putin told the audience that he admired the Democratic Party's candidate's infectious laugh and that he respected current President Joe Biden's choice to endorse her as his successor. All right, so let's watch this thing. I hope we have Putin for Harris. Yeah.
That if we can name a favorite candidate, it used to be Joe Biden, but now he is not participating in the election campaign, and he recommended all his allies to support Ms. Harris. So that is what we are going to do. So it was, well, he said that we should, that is why we should also do that. Well, her laugh, she's laughing, her laugh is so fascinating. It means that everything is good, and if everything is good, it means that, for instance, if we're speaking about Joe Biden, there are so many sanctions against Russia introduced, and if everything is good with Ms. Harris, maybe she'll refrain herself from such measures, or maybe she'll change them. So in the end, it will be the choice of the U.S. people, and we will respect this choice.
Excellent, excellent, don't you think? And he says, Putin have added, and I'm quoting, Harris laughs so infectiously that it suggests everything is going well for her. In the end, the choice is up to the American people, and we will treat their eventual decision with respect. He said this many times before. Reuters, teasing Putin, says Russia backs Kamala Harris, cites her infectious laugh. Now, obviously, he just mocked, and he was just teasing and making fun of how imbecilic these guys are, because they are. For many people from outside, what's going on here, with the little information that they are allowed to have from the free Western mass media, which is the system's operatives, that's how I call them. Obviously, it's just, you don't have to get the information. You look at the person. If you've been around the block halfway, you didn't have to go one round trip. Just halfway around the block, and you understand Kamala Harris is hollow. He's hollow, shallow and hollow. All right. Nevertheless, he's just making fun of it, fun of her, but actually he's making fun of us, because we allowed, and we are, hey, okay, between Trump and Kamala Harris, or let's say Joe Biden, or let's say George W. Bush, or Bill Clinton, or Obama. All these guys should not have been even, I don't know, as I said, dog catchers in a village in somewhere Montana. But hey, that's me. Why? Because I have not only high standards, I have at least minimum standards for what these guys are telling us our standards should be. So our standards that these guys impose on us is this and that, freedom, democracy, blah, 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 blah. This is the standards. And these guys don't even meet that one as leaders. With two-party system, with campaign donations, mass media in one direction, the politicians, the bureaucrats, and we are the free and fair elections, electing something that was appointed to us to elect in the first place by whom? Nameless faces and countless of billions of dollars. If you need, I want to hit this again. If you need 1.5 billion dollars to be elected or to run as a president of the United States of America, don't tell those kids in kindergarten and lie to them. You can be the next U.S. president. You know, this is like you go to a casino. You can win. Please. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's just the odds are, as I read one time in Samsara. Samsara is the cycle of reincarnation, and the chances, you know, you reincarnate in something better if you did good things in your life. You reincarnate in something worse on this planet as a organism if you did bad stuff. And they said the chance to evolve, to reincarnate from a lower entity, let's say, I'm just going to give you a cockroach, okay? Let's just give it a cockroach to a human being, or a lion to a human being, or vulture to a human being, even though the vultures, I think, are in the highest, one of the highest levels. And not vultures, eagles, not the scavengers, but the guys who actually hunt. And it's like you throw a, how do you call that? It's in the water to save a person. How do you call that? Kolak, we call it. Ring, I don't know, safe ring, you inflatable, whatever, you throw it over there. And let's say it's a big lake, but this is an example to, they said a lake, they said an ocean, and this survival little rounded thing that you get and sit on it or get through. The chances are that it's a frog jumping through that hoop in that ocean. That are the odds that you will reincarnate from a lower to a human being. So anyway, I don't even remember now why I start with this little thing. I think with the abilities, the lowest expectations, and what we should not expect, demand from the ones that are over there elected, or at least be able to be elected. And I was referring to the children's chance to be a U.S. president is like that little frog jumping through that hoop or ring in the middle of the ocean. You say, well, frogs don't in the salt water. Okay. Leave the details to the Hindu and others. All right. Thank you very much, or Buddhist. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.